Welcome back to another weekly grocery haul. As always, we'll start with produce. I got a bunch of apples. If you don't know, apples are my snack of choice. I always have fruit on hand, so if I am having a craving for something sweet, I have something healthy to go for. And 9 times out of 10, that takes care of my sweet craving. Then I have a whole big bag of spinach. I'm going to use that for some curry on Monday, Meatless Monday. And I'm also going to use that for 1 or 2 meals this week. Some grapes, just to snack on. My nephew loves grapes, so I'll probably feed him some when we have lunch, right after I finish this video. Some broccoli for 2 meals this week. Some green beans for 2 meals this week. Onions, because I always need onions. I'll use them in, what am I going to do this week? Some fajitas. I'll do a beef stew. Yeah, a bunch of things. Peppers, also for the fajitas. My nephew says hi. Fajitas to go with, what else? Some tacos, a couple of things. Some chilies to go in the curry paste. Some turmeric and ginger for the curry paste. Because I'm going to make my own curry paste for the curry. That's also why I need an onion, by the way. And then I have some cucumber for some sandwiches, for some ham sandwiches, I think. And some limes because I'm out of limes. So I just like having some citrus on hand. So produce this week was €22.35. The single most expensive item, by the way, was the fresh turmeric. That was €4, just by itself. So, and then we have a bunch of meat. I have some sausages for 2 meals this week. I have some ham. Well, it's not ham. It's gammon. It's like the same cut from the leg as ham is, but it's not cured. So I'll use that 1 meal just by itself. I'll just put that in a pan. And I'm also going to chop some up and put in a stir fry with some pork. And the rest is going to go in the freezer. I have some beef. I'll use some of that for the steak fajitas, and I'll use some for a beef stew. And whatever I have left over from the beef stew, I'll use for some steak pies later in the week. Then for sandwiches, I have some ham, and I have some chicken breast. One I'm going to have for lunch, the other I'm going to have for lunch tomorrow. And then some falafel. I'm not using that this week, but it was on sale this week, so I'm going to use that next week. I'll do either a falafel bowl with couscous, or I'll do some falafel wraps. I don't know yet. We'll see next week. But oh, and some salmon. Almost forgot that, because I'm going to use that for 1 meal, and the rest is going to go in the freezer. So meat and dairy this week came to €26.30. And then we have everything else. I'll start in this corner over here. My nephew for lunch, he picked some pain au chocolat and also a chocolate cookie. And I'm going to have some of these rolls with either the chicken or the ham. I'm leaning towards the chicken right now. Some more rolls to finish baking in the oven. I'll have that for lunch tomorrow with whatever topping I don't have in a moment. Some hot dog buns and some hot dogs because my nephew wanted some hot dogs for dinner tonight. And then I got a beer, which you won't see me buy very often because I don't drink any alcohol. But like I said, I'm making a beef stew. So I picked up a bottle of beer for that. I don't have any clue about beer, but this one said it had a lot of caramel notes and it was quite hops forward. So I think that would go well with my beef stew. I'll let you know how it turns out. Then my 1 bag of chips for the week. Some flaming hot potato chips. I already mentioned that the beef stew, whatever I have left over, I'll use in the steak pie. So I got some puff pastry. Then I got 2 bars of chocolate for the week. I splurged. I went for the Tony's, which is my favorite. I got a dark milk chocolate with brownie, and underneath is a dark milk chocolate with pretzel. Dark milk chocolate by Tony's is my favorite. So this is expensive, so I don't buy it very often, but it was on sale this week. Some fish, just some breaded chunks of fish. I'll use those for some fish tacos just as a shortcut. Some chili oil because I'm almost out. I've been using that a lot lately. And then they had some ranch in one of the stores here at Aldi. I've never seen ranch here before. It's not a thing outside of North America. So I'm just curious to try it. I'm also out of stock cubes. So I just bought one chicken stock packet and one vegetable stock. Then for the curry, I needed some coconut milk, so I stocked up on that. And then I was out of my favorite like crisp breads, the higher fiber, lower carb one. So they're on sale this week, so I stocked up, and I'll have that on Monday with some cheese spread that I still have. And then I used up the last of my harissa spices, so I picked some of that up. So all of that came to 32 euros and 22 cents. That makes a grand total for this week 80 euros and 87 cents, or converted into US dollars, that is $95.30. But yeah, like I said, this will last more than a week. Like I'm probably going to use less than half of the pork. The rest is going to go in the freezer, for example. I'll probably have some of the beef left over. The falafel is not until next week, so it will last me more than a week for most of these things. But yeah, if you like this kind of content, I do this every single Saturday. And if you would like to see how I get all my groceries by bicycle here in the Netherlands, I do a video showing that about once a month. And I posted one last week, I want to say, or the week before. And yeah, if you want to see what I ultimately do with all of this, every Sunday I do a Sunday prep day video where I prep for the week, where I will cut all my vegetables, and tomorrow I'll make the curry paste, I'll make the beef stew, that kind of stuff. And if you want to see what I ultimately eat, you can check out my Instagram where I post every single meal, or you can check out the video that I post about once a month on here where I show you everything I eat in a day for a whole week. And I think I posted one last week. So if that all sounds good to you, leave a like, leave a comment, subscribe, and thank you for watching. Until next time, bye for now.
Thanks for watching, bye.